Okay, friends, we're back with American Miscellany, and at this point we are on essay number 155. Now, it's a very long essay in this book of essays, so it is divided into several parts. We'll see how many when we get to the end. This is my first time reading through this book, so you and I together are finding out what is within these ancient pages together for the first time. So this book is 161 years old. It was published in 1865. American Miscellany. Of course, it's just a collection of essays. Our essay today is essay 155, Curiosities of Art. The previous part, part 3, was all about miniature machinery. And not very interesting, actually. But this next essay, this next part of essay 155, part 4, I guess, that's entitled Gigantic and Curious Cannons. So that should be interesting, right, ladies? All right, page 401 of American Miscellany, essay 155, part 4. Curiosities of Art, Gigantic and Curious Cannons. We notice a few of the remarkable field pieces which have been constructed in various countries since the invention of gunpowder. Such instruments are often regarded with interest, either on account of their stupendous size or the ingenuity displayed in their construction and mode of appliance. The largest known guns are, we believe, to be found in India, where they were cast during the meridian of the Mohammedan power. One of these brass pieces, known as the Lord of the Field, now lies on the bastions of the walls of Bijapur, and is not less than 14 feet and 9 inches long, with a bore of 2 feet and 5 inches in diameter, thus requiring a ball of 2,646 pounds. This stupendous gun was cast at Ahmednagar, 150 miles distant from its present situation, and must have cost no ordinary amount of labor to transport it, considering that the thickness of its metal is fully 14 inches. On the ramparts of Brunswick, there is a curious brass mortar said to have been cast as early as 1411. It measures 10 feet in length and 9 in extreme diameter, requires for an ordinary charge 52 pounds of gunpowder, and is capable of throwing bombs of 1,000 pounds weight. Bombs of 1,000 pounds weight. Big load. Another continental curiosity of this kind was the monster mortar of Antwerp, constructed some 14 or 15 years ago, but since destroyed by an overcharge of powder during an experimental exhibition. This huge instrument of destruction was cast at the Royal Foundry at Liege under the superintendence of Baron Evian, the Belgian Minister of War. It was 5 feet long and 3 feet and 4 inches in diameter, having a bore of 24.5 inches and weighing 14,700 pounds. The weight of the empty shell fitted for it was 916 pounds. Of the powder contained in the shell, 95 pounds, and of the shell, when fully charged, 1,015 pounds. The powder chamber was made to hold 30 pounds, but a considerable less quantity than this sufficed to discharge the shell when the range did not exceed 800 or 900 yards. The weight of the wooden bed which contained the mortar was 16,000 pounds. The name of monster mortar, says the United Service Journal, was well selected, for it is scarcely possible to conceive a more ugly or unwieldy implement. With the exception of the mortar at Moscow, the bore of which is 36 inches in diameter, and which, if ever used, must have been employed for projecting masses of granite, the Antwerp mortar exceeded in magnitude any other engine of the kind hitherto known. The immense pieces called carthons, Karthauns, carthons. The immense pieces called carthons, which were common on the continent in the early part of the 18th century, rarely exceeded between 70 and 80 hundredweight, and projected a ball of not more than 60 pounds weight. The largest gun ever made in Britain was one cast a few years ago for the Pacha of Egypt. It weighs nearly 18 tons, is made on the howitzer principle, and is about 12 feet long, with an immense quantity of metal at the breech. The diameter of the bore is about 16 inches, and the weight of the ball with which it will be shotted 455 pounds. Immense field pieces have sometimes been constructed of malleable iron, but by fashioning the body of bars as a cooper forms a pail, and then hooping them closely round by other bars of great strength. The old piece, known as Mons Meg, and exhibited as a curiosity on the upper parapet of Edinburgh Castle, is made on this principle. It is now a wreck, and was long the only piece of the kind, but some years ago the United States government gave orders for several of the same kind of much larger dimensions. The largest of these was placed on board the Princeton steamer, measuring 16 feet in length and capable of carrying a ball weighing 230 pounds. During one of the experimental trips with the new vessel, this monster gun was shotted and fired, when unluckily the breech exploded, causing the death of 2 members of the President's cabinet, Messrs. Upshur and Gilmer, besides killing and wounding a number of others on board. Among the curiosities under this head, we may justly notice the steam gun of Mr. Perkins, invented some 13 or 14 years ago, and which many of our readers may have seen exhibited in both London and Edinburgh. It consists of an ordinary metal tube of any caliber, connected with a compact steam apparatus of proportionate power, and movable at pleasure in any direction by means of a universal joint. With 1/4 additional force to that of gunpowder, it will propel a stream of bullets, whether musket or cannon balls, at the rate of 18 or 20 a second, for any length of time during which the steam power may be kept up. One gun is in itself a battery in perpetual and incessant motion, moving horizontally or vertically, sweeping in a semicircular range, and pouring all the while a continued volley of balls with unerring precision when directed point blank. 2 of these guns in a ship would sink any vessel instantly. And what force could pass by such a battery on land? In the models generally exhibited, the noise made in firing is little more than that caused by the rush of a column of steam from a narrow aperture. It is curious to see a small tube of polished steel spitting, for that term is most expressive of its action, spitting forth a shower of bullets and steam without the least apparent effort.